Kicking it off with Floristry. Floristry is a game that's from a company called Up Games, but the piece of news here more specifically is that Asmodee USA has been selected as the exclusive distributing partner for Uncommon's publishing. So they announced this distribution partnership with Up Games, and they're bringing the studio's first release, Floristry here, to all sales channels, taking it into hobby distribution, into specialty mass market toy retailers, that sort of thing. So Up Games here is a new studio that is founded by David Gordon and Tam, and these are the co-designers of Monkey Palace.
Okay,
Monkey Palace is that Lego game
one
that just came out not very long ago. I've been hearing a lot of good things about that. So that's the idea. The studio here aims to expand the board game audience by publishing easy-to-learn and accessible games for all ages. So there you go. That's what the news is for this one, and it is with Asmodee as the exclusive distributor. Floristry here will be available to players through all major retail channels starting in March 2025, marking the beginning of this exciting collaboration between Up Games and Asmodee.
This will be interesting, too, because these two designers on when they did Monkey Palace, it's surprisingly more thinky than you would expect. You go in like kind of thinking you're going to play with Legos, right? And that's not the case. It's a very thinky, not quite mathematical, but tactical game. So it'll be interesting to see what their take on a quick two-player game is and see kind of, I don't know, the design space that they have together. So I'm excited.
All right, next up, Faking It, which is one of the games from Jackbox Games. Well, they're making a real physical version of this. And this one is coming to Amazon, apparently. I guess they're distributing through Amazon November 1st, 2024. So basically tomorrow. Fans of this social deduction party game can now play on offline, of course. And there's even a Faking It All Night Long, which is an adult 17-plus version of the game. So you got Faking It on the one side, the All Night Long edition on the other side. I'm assuming just like a After Dark type version of the game. So the way the game works is, and I'm assuming it's the same in the Jackbox game. I haven't played this one, actually.
You haven't.
I haven't played this one either. So there's a card with a task that's written on it, and it's passed around the group. But one player's secret wallet won't reveal what the card says. They have to fake what, they have to, they don't get to see the thing, so they got to fake it in order to make it to the next round and score points. So it's one of those things where everybody's card says whatever, but one person didn't see it, so they have to blend in. Which
we've played something similar that's a word, like everyone knows a word except for one person, kind of thing. So a very similar thing. Okay.
And they are different categories. So categories are Hands of Truth. Players must either raise their hand up or keep their hand down. Number Pressure. Raise a certain number of fingers between 1 and 10. You got to point. Point at another player or even yourself. I'm guessing based on what it says, right? Like the tallest, the goofiest.
It'll say something
Face
like that.
value. Make a facial expression. Text you up. Each player must answer the question on their card out loud truthfully. Okay. So it's like we just played a party game very similar to this where it was like, an answer between 1 and 10.
Yeah.
And then we would all shout it at the same time. And that one we shouted it out. And then somebody had to figure out what the question was.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. What was it called?
So this sounds
dumb questions to ask your friends.
That's it, yeah. This one sounds a little bit similar to that.
Did it say it was going straight to Amazon?
It is going to be on Amazon apparently tomorrow.
That's really interesting.
Coming to Amazon November 1st, 2024.
That's very specific. It's like it's coming to Amazon, not like retails, Target, anything. It's like to Amazon.
I'm assuming it's because it is from Jackbox Games is publishing a game for the first time too, like a card game basically. And so they're a digital company. They make video games, right?
Got it. That makes sense.
I'm assuming then they have a deal with Amazon where it's going to be there, possibly for a limited time.
Or it's the platform they could get it on instead of having to sell it on create a website to sell it in a store. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, interesting.
So there you go. That is Faking It, and you can get that very quickly, very soon. Next up, we've got One Piece. I always say that, even though it's one punch.
It's one punch.
Okay, so this is from Japanime. They are releasing their second game tied to One Piece called Assault on Marine Ford. This is coming out 2025. The new game allows you to relive the epic battle between the Marines who have captured Ace and plan to execute him on Marineford Island, and, of course, Whitebeard. Everybody knows Whitebeard, who has assembled a fleet of pirates to rescue his son. Are you excited for this?
I don't understand anything. Like,
Good.
I understood all those words individually, but together, no.
No. One Piece Assault on Marineford is for 2 to 6 players, ages 7 and up, plays in 30 minutes, and it will come out January 22nd, 2025. MSRP, $24.95.
I feel like this will do well, but it's definitely,
One Piece.
yeah, nothing I can speak of.
Next up, let's talk about some games from Blue Orange. Kicking it off here with City Tour. These, by the way, do all show, if you see a picture here during these, the ones we're looking at, Blue Orange, they're all pre-production, possibly non-final covers, okay? So be aware of that. So City Tour here is a cooperative game for 1 to 4 players from the designers of Harmonies and Biomos. So those two designers.
Biomes? Biomos?
It says Biomos. I think it is a different game than Biomes.
Okay, it's not biomes. Okay. Biome, I don't know.
So the idea here is you and the other players are going to pick up passengers in your bus and deliver them to the right stops. How many passengers you have to pick up is the difficulty of the game. So you set that before you begin. We're picking up 6. That's easy mode. I don't know. I'm making that up. You set up the frame around the area as you see there. You place the bus in the starting area, and then on a turn, someone's going to draw 2 tiles, place one into the frame, discard the other. And if you're adding roads, then the bus is going to move. If you put a road in front of the bus moves.
Okay.
And it moves as far as it can. It picks up whoever it drives by. And if you drive by where they're trying to go, then you drop them off. So that's the idea. Like blue passengers will only go to blue stops, that kind of thing. The bus only has 6 seats, so if it's filled and you keep driving by people, you don't pick them up.
Okay.
It's a tiny bus. It's like a baby's bus.
Mm-hmm. It's like an Uber.
Uber bus.
Uber. This kind of sounds like a, not Let's Make a Bus Route, the other one. What's it called with the little sticks that you put out to make your own route?
Let's Make a Bus Route.
It is. I thought Let's Make a Bus Route was the roll and write one.
It is. It's the same game, but one of them they stopped drawing and they gave you little wooden sticks.
Right. I thought it had a different name too.
It does.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not.
I don't
Okay.
remember.
Yeah. Anyway. It's gonna kill me. I'm gonna think of it like 3 games. Anyway, kind of like that, but a cooperative
Calm
version,
down.
which
I
is
got
interesting.
you, fam. I got you.
Get on board.
I got you. I'm
Wendy
looking
with
it
the
up.
save.
Hold on.
Okay. What is it? Could it be Get on Board, perchance?
I'm looking it up. Hold on.
London, Paris.
Get on
New York.
board is what it's called. I just typed in "get on board" into Google. It didn't even bring up the game. I'm committed.
Yes. Anyway, sounds kind of like a cooperative version of that instead of actually drawing the routes, maybe tile placement a little bit. So yeah, that sounds interesting.
It's cute. As far as when this is coming out, we don't know yet. Okay, next up, Roll Again. Roll Again is a press your luck dice game, 2 to 4 players, from Gregoire Largy and Theo Riviere. Everybody has their own board, 5 dice tokens, and 3 mini-game boards that are shared among the players. You're rolling your dice, placing a pair of them on your player board, and then you either stop or roll the remaining dice to try to get a higher result. As long as you keep getting higher numbers, you can keep moving up. But you're going to be busting, I'm guessing, at some point here. With the symbols, you're going to also cover up the spaces on the little mini-game boards, scoring points as you move. And basically, it feels to me like this is kind of a don't stop, push your luck type dice game. This one, the plan from Blue Orange is to show this at the New York Toy Fair in March 2025, ahead of its release, which is going to be a little bit later next year.
Oh, wow.
Very early.
Oh, right. Yeah. Very early for something not going to crowdfunding or something. Mm-hmm. That cover very much reminds me of like a retro video game, like a arcade game or something.
Yeah.
No.
There's this, like, they are definitely, in fact, the last one, this one, and some more that are coming up very much have that We want to get into mass market.
Okay.
Like this is meant to be a game people will, without hesitation or fear, pick up off the shelf and feel comfortable.
I can see that.
You know
That
what I
looks
mean?
like this is not a slight at all, but that looks like something I'd see on the Target shelf.
Right.
Very approachable.
And I think that is
very approachable cover.
certainly not by accident. All right, next up, we've got one called Home Staging, also from Blue Orange. This is a French edition of a game that came out some time ago from German publisher Verlag. I don't know that. In 2023 is when this came out. They're reprinting it. So the idea is it's a 2 to 6 player game. Players represent interior design companies, and they've been tasked to fill the rooms with furniture. Each player is going to have a floor plan of the rooms. There's sets of cards for each room, and each card shows one piece of furniture. You take turns flipping over one of the cards, choosing one of the shapes shown, and then everybody has to draw that piece of furniture into their plan. So it's one of those bingo-esque ones.
Yeah.
You know, where like you do a thing, someone selects a thing, everybody uses that shape or that number or that whatever.
Yeah.
I have to say I'm not really loving the look of this one. I don't tend to like the blueprint, like games that really lean into blueprint as an aesthetic. I find kind of off-putting. I don't like that look.
I don't quite find them off-putting, but they definitely don't inspire much from me.
Right.
Yeah, they definitely look like kind of prototypey, and I think that's on purpose because you are blueprinting. You are doing the step one of the design. So I get it thematically, but I think visually I'm with you. It doesn't elicit much excitement.
I guess for me what it is a game in which you are creating a blueprint is really, really close to someone who is creating a blueprint.
Right. And that's
you are writing, it's in blue, you are worrying about measuring and something fitting. Obviously, you're not really, but it's so close. I feel like I'm working.
Right.
Does that make sense? You know what I mean?
I feel like the end product is not beautiful, and again, that's not the shallow gamer in me. You know, the end product looks like a blueprint, and that's neat, but it's not like, oh, cool, and look at this room that I built, and it's all aesthetically pleasing, you know, and again, that's admittedly the shallow gamer in me, but yeah, I agree. They're a little lackluster.
Anyway, so this one's going to come with, it comes with quite a few bits of content. There's a scenario booklet that's going to contain several small campaigns with 25 scenarios in all, varying levels of difficulty, and this is going to be Blue Orange Games' primary Gen Con 2025 release. Okay? So, next year at Gen Con. Moving on, To Win from Florian Raki is a very straightforward 2 to 6 players, card game in which you are trying to outlast everyone else at the table. Each player is going to start with 8 cards in their hand. Cards come in 3 colors, range from 1 through 9. And on a turn, every player is going to simultaneously reveal 2 cards that create a 2-digit number, placing them on top of cards previously played to create 2 columns, as you can see there across the bottom in front of all 3 players. Excuse me. If a player has the highest number on a turn, they draw a card. If you played the most stars on your new cards, you draw a card. And if you played the 3rd card of the same color into a column, you draw a card. And whoever has last to play is going to win. So you're trying to achieve those 3 things. Get the highest combination, get stars, get the 3rd color in a column. Each of those lets you draw a card, and you're trying to not run out of cards and be out. Again, screams to me Target shelf.
Very much so. Very much so.
Excuse me. I don't know. This is one I'd have to kind of see in motion to understand, really.
Right.
It looks very simple. It looks like cards with numbers kind of game. You know, a couple colors, a couple of ideas there. But, this one's tricky to sort of put my finger on. I'll try it. This one is, like I said, also from Blue Orange Games, and the plan here is to feature it at the New York Toy Fair 2025 as well.
Okay.
All right. Next up, we've got one more from Blue Orange Games here. This one is an interesting sounding one. It's called $20 for That. And it's kind of like The Price is Right. Kind of. It's like halfway to that. The idea being this is for 3 to 7 players. Okay, so each round, players are going to be presented with a combination of a couple of cards, like an adjective and a noun. So like rusted bicycle or something.
Okay.
And then everybody's going to estimate the value of that thing by writing down an amount. In this case, I guess there on their boards, it looks like it's in euros, but we'll do it in dollars. As Americans, we'll do it in dollars. So you write down what you think it's going to be. They are all revealed. They are placed out, and you are trying to be in the middle of the pack. Your goal is to be as near the center as possible.
Okay.
So trying to basically be as correct as possible, I guess I would say.
As a way to
right?
simulate correct, kind of the average of what people would pay.
Right. Which I think is pretty good. It's very clever.
Yeah.
That sounds like it's going to work well. Everybody is rushing for as sort of correct as possible, right? That would be about the middle. If anybody's like, oh, you went too high, you're on the outside, you're helping me be closer to the center.
Yeah, you don't want to be those extremes, right?
So that's it. That's kind of the game. You flip over a couple of things. You can see some there, like common, a book over there, alive, and there's
seeing it.
There's some funky stuff. Spongy, broken, unusable, in leather, cotton, and then around it are the other words like book, board game, bar of soap, bike. They're obviously in the B section of the deck.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could be like broken book in leather could be a thing.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, $12. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
yeah, it seems very just party game-ish.
It does.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it sounds pretty fun. I could see it being a get in each other's heads kind of thing. That sounds fun to me. I like the sound of that one. All right, one more. CakeZilla. CakeZilla here is
still blue-orange?
Still blue-orange.
Wow.
This one's for kids, though. And this one is a cooperative design from Maxime Rambourg and Theo Riviere, both of whom I think are very good designers.
Kids.
2 to 4 players. In CakeZilla here, you want to complete customer orders despite the presence of a monster in the kitchen that will eat your supplies if you are not careful, i.e. CakeZilla. On your turn, you're going to draw ingredient cubes from a bag. You drop them in that funnel in the middle. And then you fulfill an outstanding order in part of the kitchen that has the right cubes in it, or you move a cube to a different region, or pick up from one region and drop them again. So you can migrate to different areas of the kitchen so you can get the right combinations, or you can just take another area and scoop them up and throw them back in the little funnel here. So it's a little bit like,
cute.
Yeah, it's kind of like that one cooperative game.
The Spill?
Yeah, the Spill is a little bit like that, but this one, I'm thinking more of that time traveling one, the Dr. Foe or whatever.
Gosh, we're struggling with coming up with
Anyway, that
games
game is kind of like this, and I think Theo Riviere designed that game too.
Oh, okay, got it. The Loop?
The Loop, that's it, something like that, yeah. So this one's cute. Yeah, I like the look. It's very vibrant. It seems like it's going to be absolutely...
There's Mike with it.
Yeah,
it's the Loop. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, the Loop, yeah. But again, I think some of the designers are the same people. Yeah, it looks super cute.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be one of those games that kids are going to enjoy the tactile nature of it. Throwing cubes into that thing and having them spill out is going to be entertaining.
I think that really,
noisy.
That's a gimmick that works on me. I can imagine on a kid,
right.
you know?
Exactly. So there you go. That is the way that goes. We got one more from Blue Orange, and let me see. We got quite a few more from Blue Orange, actually.
Really?
They showed quite the slate.
Okay.
Okay, this next one is Magica Boo. 3 to 5 players, age 4 and up. So again, this is appropriate for kids.
What is the boo? Are those teeth?
They are eyes.
I see it.
You see it now? There you go.
The one has like something out of the top. It makes it look like a tooth.
There's a little eyebrow dipping in again.
Oh, okay.
Let's go with
I
that.
can't see that. Sure.
Anyway, gameplay here is very simple. The idea is you're trying to tell what's disappeared in Magica Boo. This is for very little kids, again. There's the tiles around the outside there. Every turn, one player is going to take the role of the magician. They spread a large cloth over the wooden pieces in the center. Then they pick up one item and they cart it away. They go magic-a-boo. And then the other players are trying to identify which item is missing, winning a star if they do. All the items are around the outside. All the little wooden bits are in the middle. You cover them, you take one away, and everybody tries to very quickly figure out what is missing. Again, ages 4 and up. Mike Heller says this is too complicated for him. I concur.
I can see there's like kids, like young kids, and they go through that stage of just realizing object permanency.
Yeah.
You know, about like 1.5 or 2 or something. A little younger than that. But anyway, I can just see this like blowing their mind. Be like, what? you know, like just not getting it. Yeah.
Stupid kids. Anyway, next up, we've got Lynx. This one is a pure abstract game from Blue Orange still. This is a 2-player game, ages 6 and up, they're saying. And it's very straightforward. Each player has their own set of polyominoes, and you're going to take turns dropping one piece at a time into the vertical playing area, a la, Tetris. If a player ever connects the left and right sides of the area or the top and bottom of the area with a continuous line of their color, they are going to win the game.
And it doesn't have to be a straight line.
Does
I guess,
not,
right?
right,
It just
right,
has to
right.
connect. Oh, that's interesting.
Exactly. So, yeah, as you can tell, there's like if blue can make a connection between that chunk in the middle, in the bottom there, the kind of 3x3 with a couple at the bottom, to the little straight up and down one above that, then they're really close to connecting the top and the bottom.
Or white's just one away too. Interesting.
White's a punk.
White's got it.
The
bag.
There we go. Next up. Is this still from Blue Orange? Yes.
Oh,
yes.
My goodness.
This one is another card game called Fitty Frutti. Quick playing game for 2 to 6 liars. Okay.
Oh, it's 50 Fruity? Oh.
Fitty Frutti. 50 Fruity.
Got me excited. Fitty Frutti. I really like it. Fitty Frutti.
Fitty Frutti is how
really like
you may say that when you reference the game.
That made me really happy. I thought that was what it was actually called.
It is.
I'm back out.
50 Frutti. Okay. To win Fitty Frutti, you have to have the most bananas in your collection, and then you get and to get them, you might have to lie. So on your turn, the active player is going to draw 2 cards from the deck, show them to another player, who either truthfully says what's on the cards, both cards, but not which is which, okay? Or they lie about one card, saying the truth about the other card. The active player then keeps one and gives the other to the player who spoke, so you don't see them is the idea. So I show you 2 cards, you tell me one's 2 bananas, one's 4 bananas, whatever.
Like, I'll take that.
And then I give you one.
And then I'm like, oh
I
no,
give you
it's
one.
apples.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Some cards only have bananas on them, while others have green bananas, mangoes that ripen the green bananas, coconuts with special powers, bombs that blow up coconuts, a banana split, and more. So pure bluffing. Here's 2 cards.
Yeah.
What's on them? Are you lying? I don't know. You take that one. I'll take this one. Oh, no. My banana is just split. Moving on. King Domino is getting a digital non-board game arena edition coming out.
Hey, that's exciting.
And this, by the way, what you're looking at on the screen there is kind of like a refreshed edition that came out at Spiel 2024 that they were showing there, and it's going to come out in 2025. It's the same game, but it has a new look, which is what you're seeing there, and a digital version coming out. So I'm excited for that. I want to check that out. You will see it featured in What's Happening.
I say a digital meaning
soon.
like an app?
Yeah.
Okay.
But not Board Game Arena. So like a dedicated app.
Right. Not on a platform.
Yeah. So that's cool. Excited for that. All right, moving on from Blue Orange. That was a lot of Blue Orange. Here we go. Let's talk Rio Grande games. This is a new edition of History of the World. So History of the World is a game from yesteryear. This came out in 1991 from the Ragnar brothers, which is 3 people. They're not all brothers, I think. Don't worry about it. So, yeah, back in 1991, it came out originally from them. Then it was republished a few times from Avalon Hill. And now Rio Grande Games is going to be publishing it. I assume this is not the final cover, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Previous covers have been very lavish. So
Okay,
I don't know.
This definitely still looks like a 1990s cover.
Yeah. So the idea here is that the game sort of tells the story of ancient Sumeria all the way through to the more modern U.S. time. So it features it's a Civ game, right? So it's going to have over 60 peoples are featured, and events and empire cards, and you collect gold through control of buildings and lands. Whoever has the most gold at the end of the whole thing is going to be the winner. Excuse me. While the new design keeps the spirit of the game intact and incorporates elements from the very earliest expansions, the new edition has some major differences, including you can play with or without dice. The distribution of the Empire and the event cards are different. There's new event cards. The gold collection mechanics have been tweaked. There's new area tokens and a strategy that they lead to. There's new honor tokens that provide you with benefits. There's a lot of stuff. So this is a game for 2 to 6 players, plays in, I love this, in over 120 minutes. So it's anywhere between 2 hours and 6 days.
Yeah.
And it will release in January 2025 for the low price of $79.95 MSRP.
Yeah, I definitely hope that's not the final cover, because that's going to be a hard price point to sell with that cover.
And it's going to sell to people that know the original, unfortunately, with that cover.
That's what I think. Yeah, you have to know the original to get in at that price point. Looking like that, yeah.
Yeah. All right, we got The Last of Us board game. A company called Themeborn is going to be releasing The Last of Us Escape the Dark, which is obviously based on the video game. And they're utilizing something I'm not aware of called the Escape the Dark game system.
I haven't heard of that. Okay.
The Escape the Dark game system, I'm not sure what that is, but this game is going to feature that. It's 1 to 5 players. They follow characters from the video game as they journey from a quarantine zone to Jackson, using crafting and weapon upgrades via dice and item cards to avoid challenges. I'm guessing it's like the other game is Escape the Dark. I'm guessing is the one that has the Escape the Dark game system.
Okay.
Again, I haven't played that game. I don't know what it is.
Okay, so the game system is kind of like Pandemic, and then you have other games set in Pandemic.
I guess so.
Kind of something like that. Okay. Huh.
Yeah, I haven't played Escape the Dark, so I don't know. I don't love the look of this. The whole black and white, everything's black and white. Just sort of looks like everything was put through a filter and the color was removed. It wasn't drawn in black and white. I don't know. There is a difference, and this looks a little...
I think I like it in the picture on the main cover, but it does need something just to show it's on purpose. Like, good night. Like The Last of Us should be in color or something like that, the actual title. There just needs a little splash just to show us it's on purpose, not a prototype. You know, I feel like it's just on the wrong side of that line. But I haven't seen it in person, obviously.
Right.
You know.
Anyway, so the game box is going to include a game board, 6-player boards, 154 cards, 68 dice, 94 tokens, and look at that, a rule book. It's for 1 to 5 players, ages 14 and up. Plays in about 90 minutes. MSRP, $74.95.
All right.
Next up, we've got some Arkham Horror, the card game goodies coming.
Yes, please.
This is something that we got to see. I got to see anyway. I don't know if you saw it at Gen Con. Behind a glass case, so I mean, couldn't really I couldn't grab it, but I tried. So this is the next expansion, and it's the first one to feature the big Mama Jama himself, Cthulhu. Cthulhu. So this is the Drowned City. Investigators are going to venture into a tomb-like ruin of Rallier as it rises from the ocean's depths. Each investigator is assigned a task with unique goals and side objectives at the beginning of the campaign, and that campaign is going to culminate in an epic battle with Cthulhu.
Yes.
This is going to require the core set to play, of course. It's going to include 155 scenario cards and 1 campaign guide. I'm talking about the campaign of these two, the tall box. And then the other one is going to be the investigator one. It includes 6 investigators, 228 player cards, the rule booklet, all of that jazz. You can buy these individually, of course, if you want more deck building cards or investigators or just the story one.
Or another campaign, yeah.
Yeah, so this is expected to come out not soon enough, February 7th, 2025. Oh. And that is, let me see, I do normally know that they don't always release both at the same time.
Okay.
But I'm only seeing one date here.
Which way does it usually go? The investigators or the campaign first?
I think it's the campaign first.
Oh, interesting. Not the new characters. Okay.
I don't know. I thought that they weren't quite always the same
Yeah.
date, but I'm only seeing one date, February 25.
Okay. Cool.
And then one final piece of news here. There's a new D&D board game coming out from Phil Walker Harding.
Oh, interesting.
This is D&D Edge of the Realms, in which you're going to explore and chart the Forgotten Realms in this fast-paced game of map-making and combo building. It looks a little bit, from what I'm seeing there, like his other, and I'm not going to remember the name of that one either. Now, he has another game in which you're crossing things off on a grid.
Explorers.
I wonder why I couldn't remember that.
Might be generic.
Gosh. It looks a little bit like Explorers, but I'm seeing cubes and I'm seeing a little wooden meeple fellow there moving around in orange.
Yeah, that's exciting. I really like Explorers a lot, and that's immediately kind of what I was thinking of too. So, interesting. Huh.
So it says, every adventure needs a good map. As you explore the Forgotten Realms, you reveal new terrain and magical places to prepare your adventure's journey. But think fast. The game speeds along quickly as everyone plays at the same time. Match up terrain, activate landmarks, visit cities, and fulfill quests. After 15 turns, you'll have a completed map ready for adventure.
Wait, after 15 turns, but everyone's playing at the same time? Like
everybody's-
simultaneous, not real time.
Not
Okay,
real
it has to be simultaneous. We all do one thing. Okay,
They
I
just
got it.
mean to say, like, hey, you're not going to be sitting there waiting for me to explore the map or whatever.
Yeah.
It's simultaneous.
Got it.
I'm assuming it's going to be somewhat similar to his other flip and right style games.
Yeah, it does
You know
kind of
what I
look
mean?
like he designed a game and then, hey, let's
it really
make
does.
it in D&D.
Yeah, it
You
looks
know?
like Explorers, Silver and Gold a little bit maybe.
Yeah.
It looks like that. But it's another D&D game, and if somebody out there is excited by that property first and video game second, then maybe this is something they'll check out.
Right.
Yeah. And that is going to do it for the news, everybody. Let's move on.
Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Bassel.